Dear students, already one YouTube video is sent to you on this particular story to serve with love. And today I want to give you total 10 questions along with its answers, the notes which are supposed to be very important so far the HSC exam is concerned. You are suggested to take the note of it in your notebook and read it carefully, and even if you have some any problem, then you can call me or contact me on my number. The first question is here: tell about the preparation of the program. Tell about the preparation of the program of half yearly report presentation. The half yearly report presentation was on November 15th. It was one of the important days in the calendar of Green Slade School. The narrator had heard about the program many times. He was excited about it. It was arranged, presented, and controlled by the children only. So they were excited. The narrator observed the activities of the class of his class as they prepared for it. On that day, there was no assembly. The children arrived smartly dressed, polished. Miss Joseph and Denham were the important officials for the occasion. They moved among their colleagues. They ensured that each one was ready to play his or her role very honestly and transparently. Question number 2 is coming here. Tell how the half yearly report presentation event began. You have to explain how the half yearly report presentation event began. It was November 15th. A bell was rung at 10 a.m. Everyone trooped into the auditorium. Mr. Florian, the headmaster, took his seat on the stage. Miss Joseph and Denham were the most senior students. They sat on the stage on each side of Mr. Florian. Everyone was seated and silent. Mr. Florian stood and addressed the school. He spoke at length. He told the aims and policies of the school. He praised the students. He asked them to contribute to the progress of the school. He expected improvement in conduct, cleanliness, and the pursuit of knowledge. He wished them success and left the stage. He indirectly wanted to say that the student does not take away the treasure. The student does not take away the treasure but adds to it. In so doing, he grows grows and the society becomes young again. Education is, after all, that which gives you strength to accept the challenges in life. And the person who accepts the challenge grows in strength. And therefore, we have to learn. Whatever you learn is always very fruitful, useful, beneficial throughout your lifetime and your career. Question number 3 is here. Tell the purpose of organizing. Tell the purpose of organizing half yearly report presentation of students council. विद्यार्थी परिषदेच्या अर्धवार्षिक अहवालाचं मुख्य उद्दिष्ट काय आहे ते आपल्याला सांगायचं आहे, किंवा हे आयोजित करण्यामागचा त्यांचा हेतू काय आहे ते आपल्याला स्पष्ट करायचं आहे. इन द ग्रीन स्लेड स्कूल, November 15th was very important day. It was called the half yearly report presentation day. Report presentation was of the students, by the students and for the students. In the report of every class, the focus was on what the students learned. It was a kind of self-assessment. After the presentation of reports, there was the question answer session. Students are allowed to tell their problems regarding the subjects taught, timetable, general functioning of school, etc. Students can also have the authority, have the power, have given the opportunity, have given the chance to express the merits, the qualities, and the special achievements of the teaching community. They can also express what they dislike, what they do not prefer, what they think is not proper. It means it is an open discussion program. So there is no hesitation, no problem, no dilemma, no confusion in the learning community. Question number 4 is coming here. What did Denham argue about in question answer session? Question answer session began after report presentation. Teachers like Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dale Evans, and Miss Phillips were chosen to answer the students' questions. Herman was skillful, but Denham was blunt in questioning. Denham criticized the general pattern of physical training, education, and games. He pointed out PT. He pointed out that PT twice weekly for 20 minutes was a waste of time. He suggested that only the kids who needed it could take it. Others could have a game of football, something else. In reply, Mr. Weston responded ridiculously. Miss Philip replied pleasantly and outwitted Denham. He too admitted his defeat. Denham was very much aware of his own limitations. Basically, he was very rude, arrogant, outspoken, and not a polite student of the school, but it was E.R. Braithwaite, who was basically an aeronautical engineer, came into teaching profession after the Second World was over, and he transformed Denham into a gentleman. He did his best to bring positive changes in his nature. Question number 5 is coming here. How did Miss Phillips defeat Denham in question answer session? Report presentation was followed by question answer session. Three teachers, Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dale Evans, and Miss Phillips, were chosen to answer the question. Questions were mostly from the two top classes. Denham was a trained boxer. He criticized the general pattern of PT and games. Miss Phillips dealt with Denham's question coolly, logically, and honestly. She asserted that every subject, including PT and games, had been carefully considered. They had been fitted into the teaching timetable so that students got benefit. Greatest good for the greatest number was the view of the school. She stressed that it would be beyond anyone's powers to please everybody. You just cannot please everybody. She outwitted Denham. He too accepted his defeat gracefully. Question number 6 is coming here. Write a short note on Mr. Florian. Mr. Florian is the headmaster of Green Slade School. He is in no way remote from his school. He identifies himself with the school and everyone in it. He expresses his pride in all the children. He deeply appreciates their efforts. He calls upon them to contribute to the progress of the school. He also points out to the students that improvement is needed in conduct, cleanliness, and the pursuit of knowledge. He is clear about the aims and policy of the school. His address at the function is lengthy but appreciable, praiseworthy. Whatever he said it by heart. Sketch the character of Denham. Denham is one of the senior most student of Braithwaite's class. He is confident, courteous, and outspoken. He has tremendous persuasive ability. He is a trained boxer with the subjects from which they would report. He courteously calls out the names of the senior students by addressing them the term Miss. He is bold enough to criticize the general pattern of PT and games classes. He says that compulsion of PT for all the boys is a great injustice. Instead of compulsion, he insists on freedom for students to play the game of their choice. He persuasively argues that His point is absolutely correct, and the teachers should think over them. Miss Philip opposes his views. She defeats him. Denham feels hurt but accepts her opinion. His class teacher, Braithwaite, highly appreciates his performance. Question number 8 is coming here. Miss Phillips said, the whole timetable in this school is meant to help you. The whole timetable in this school is meant to you. शाळेचं वेळापत्रक कोणा एका विद्यार्थ्यासाठी तयार केलेलं नसतं, तर संपूर्ण विद्यार्थी समाजाचा त्याच्यामध्ये विचार केलेला असतो. विद्यार्थ्यांच्या सर्वांगीण विकासासाठी तो वेळापत्रकाचं नियोजन केलं गेलेलं असते. So you have to explain this statement that the whole timetable in this school is meant to help you. Denham. One of the senior students had raised an objection to the compulsion of PT classes for the students. He complained that his subject was not well planned and it was monotonous. Instead, students should be given the freedom to play the game of their choice. Miss Phillips came forward to answer him. She stated that each subject in the school timetable was well thought of. It was carefully considered for the development of each student of the class. The school had limited facilities, yet each student was taught for the proper development of each student. She suggested if students like Denham did not find them beneficial, they should at least remember that other students do not need them. She asked Denham to consider it was an exercise to increase his tolerance. He should take it as a necessary part of training. She brought out the importance of each subject in the school timetable. This was logical reply to Denham's objection. Question number 9 is coming here. Justify the statement. Braithwaite is immensely satisfied with the progress of his students. Braithwaite was immensely satisfied, extremely happy with the progress of his students. Braithwaite is the class teacher of the senior-most class of Greenslade School. His description of the presentation of report by his students show that he is highly pleased with their performance. He has appreciated the manner in which Miss Joseph and Denham initiated the presentation of the reports. I felt terribly pleased and proud to see the confident courtesy with which Denham used the term Miss in addressing each of the senior girls. The use of expressions like with commendable gravity had a trump card up his sleeve. Fernman was wonderful. These remarks make us believe that Braithwaite is immensely satisfied with the progress of his students of his class. And the last question is coming here, dear students. Describe in short the proceedings of half-yearly report presentation by Students' Council. Senior students Miss Joseph and Denham presided over the half-yearly report program of Students' Council. The headmaster, Mr. Florian, addressed the meeting. Reports were presented starting from lower classes to higher classes. The class representatives were informed about what they had studied in the half session. A panel of teachers was chosen for each class to answer any question regarding the report submitted by the class representatives. Students from Braithwaite's class presented their reports. Potter spoke about arithmetic. Sapiano informed about nature study. Miss Peg and Jackson spoke about geography. Miss Dare and Fernman spoke about physiology. Progress in history was reported by Miss Dodd. Denham criticized the PT and games classes. Miss Joseph presented the progress in domestic science. Mr. Weston, Mrs. Dell Evans, and Miss Phillips answered the students' questions arising from their presentations. Thus, the working of a half-yearly report presentation by the Students' Council was methodical. And that's all, my dear students, for this particular story, To Serve with Love by E.R. Braithwaite, and wishing you all the best. Thank you very much.